Hi guys, welcome back to Otto's Garage. Hi guys, out of isolation, and I just really wanted to show you something that has occurred today. So it's all excitement in here today. If you just have a look over my shoulder, you can probably see we've got an empty garage, and that can only mean one thing. We've managed to get, I'll just show you actually, the car outside, and there she is in all her glory. So this is the first time in 2 years that it's seen the light, and it's the first time in 2 years that it's been on its wheels, although these are obviously different wheels and it is altogether a different beast. But yeah, she's outside, and it's a momentous day, and it's the first time that we actually get to see all of those different lines with the rear spoiler, how the arches work on it. We've still got to put the back bumper on it, but I'm not too fussed about that at the moment. And I did need to get it outside just so I can stand back and have a look at it and just see what aligns and what doesn't, if there's any minor tweaks we need to do to panels before we come to paint them. But in any event, she's there, and it's looking mighty fine. Donuts. Right, these are the donuts that hold on the front bumper, and basically they're going to go in behind here, and then you have a bolt that goes through to the mounting arm behind it. So I'd just like to give a shout out to Jim Taylor up at Chester, who does a lot of Delta parts, for sending me those over. Good call. If you want anything from Jim, just find him on the Lancia Owners Club Facebook page, and I'm sure he'll sort you out with something. He's got tons of spares there. Cheers, Jim. Right, we're going to have a look at the steering wheel. So the standard wheel was fairly showroom standard, shall we say, and I've got that nice Sparco wheel that's going to go on there, but I have got to adapt the column so that I can put the quick release on it. So let's just have a look and see what we're going to do there. So that's the standard Prisma wheel, and that basically just slid over some splines, which you can kind of see inside there, which went on the standard column. So this is the standard column, that's the steering rack end, and then that wheel there goes over the splines on this end here. I have actually ground those splines back a little bit, if you can just see there, because what we're going to do is we're going to have a interconnection rod, which was CDS 3mm wall, 16mm ID, and then as part of the quick release kit you get this weld on stub which goes on, and then that's splined at that end, which marries up with the splines down there. So what I'm going to do first, before I do anything else, is I'm just going to disconnect the upper column and remove it. These are rubber bush guides, there's one at each end of it. If I weld that now, it's going to just knacker the bush guides in there. So I'm going to take this upper column out, that will just slide all the way out, and then basically we can weld the stub tube onto the column there, and then the quick release will weld into that position, and then basically the quick release will just go on and off the end as it is there. Okay, let's take that out and have a look. That's the shaft out. You can see there, this is the steering lock mechanism, and it's just really a tube which is welded one end onto the solid shaft. Obviously here we've got our new kind of like tube which is going to be welded on to accept the quick release, that puppy there. However, the I've taken out the rubber bush which has got a bearing inside it. Now that slides over the shaft. You've got one there and you've got one down the bottom. The issue that I've got, of course, is that my tube that I'm welding on is bigger on the diameter than the bearing support which goes here, and obviously the steering lock saddle which goes in here, you can't slide it through there, it's too big obviously that way, and I can't slide it down there. So I think I'm going to have to get this on first and then do this welding, which is going to be a little bit of a tricky thing. So I'm just going to have to take my time really and not get too much heat into that joint in one go, but we'll see what occurs. Right, that's the shaft on. So I think the bearing's still good on this anyway. That was okay, I'll get that out of the way. We've got a decent bit of penetration on the welds, so I'm happy with that, and we're going to get that and load that back into the column holder with the lock on it, and then all being well, we should be able to get it on the car. Okay, I've mounted the column now. So the column is in the original position, so that's all standard Lancia there, and then this obviously is where we've put the quick release hub adapter on there, welded onto our little extension piece there. I did want the wheel as well to come back, because obviously the seats are set quite a ways back in the car now, so at least we've got the wheel coming back, and it is a dished wheel as well. So we're going to have a look at the wheel and we'll see how we attach the wheel onto the end of our new column. That's the quick release adapter there, and the holes correspond to the holes on the steering wheel. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bolt the wheel onto the adapter, and then we'll click her onto the car and we'll see what she looks like. So the first rule when you buy something off Eric Bay, if you can just see that, that's the screw that came with it. Try and focus, come on. There, which is a countersunk, lovely looking piece of kit. Absolute crap, that's no good. So basically what I'm going to do temporarily is I've got these button heads which are not the right one, but at least it will mean that we can temporarily get that on. I'm going to have to get some of these in the countersunk, because obviously these holes are all countersunk. So yeah, maybe I should have looked at that earlier, but at least I can get them on anyway, so I'll put those on temporarily and then we'll switch them over later. There it is. That's all bolted up there, so that is temporary, and ideally, definitely, these are going to be nylocks afterwards, but I just, obviously I want to be able to take them off and put the proper countersunk bolts in. So anyway, that's good. Right. So, I should locate over there. Bingo. There she is. That's the first time we've actually had the wheel on it as well. It's starting to come together. I'm just going to have a jump in there now and just see what it's like sat in the seat. Here's the wheel fitted, looking at it from inside. Height's pretty good, and I do like the position forward and aft, so that's quite good as well. But the issue that I have got is that I think the seat mount is too high basically, so I'm going to have to do something down there and chop something and then refit some more mounts, because I am sitting too high up, and what it's doing is it's it's meaning that my head is pretty much up into the roof up here, which is no good. So we're going to have a look at that and just see what we can do with the seat. But the wheel's good. I like the position of that. The other thing I am going to do now, I'm just going to drop the dash in and just see how it all relates there as well, so we can get a good feel for that too. Right, I've just fitted the dash as well, so although ultimately I'm going to get this flocked, or I'll flock it myself at some stage, but I just really wanted to see how it all fit together. So they can see the quick release bracket on the end of the wheel there. I've got the switch gear in, I've got the original plastics on around the column, and then all I've done here is, because this is where I've extended it, so that looked a bit unsightly, so I've just put a rubber boot on there, and that's actually off a CV joint, but that looks quite nice now. So that's quite good. I'm getting a good feel for how that's all going to come together. But I have, like I say, I'm pretty sure I'm going to flock this dash, but it is in fantastic condition because, of course, it's sat in the barn for 15 years, so it's had very little sunlight on it. So there you go. Okay guys, well thanks for watching this month's, I don't know when it was. Okay guys, thanks for watching this episode of Otto's Garage. We've got the steering in there anyway, and we've got the dash fitted. I'm just trying to get it revved up to take it to a rally show as a static display, obviously. I'll just try and crack on with a few little jobs there to get that all ready, and then we'll get some pictures of it when she's at the show in the next episode. Okay guys, thanks again, and I'll see you on the next episode of Otto's Garage. Bye bye!